Second article. Second article is from What3words, and it's on medium.com, and the title is 5 Ways to Create a Global App with a Local Feel. So this is not experience shared by LSP. This is coming directly from, you could say the buyer, but it's basically like the company that actually not produces but creates this app. So, and I did do some highlighting of some of the parts before, but for some reason it didn't save properly, so I'll just try to find the important things. So What3words, that's one name of the company, is used in 193 countries, and their users are using their app for everything from planning meetups with friends to finding their Airbnbs, easier car navigation, smoother deliveries, and faster emergency response. But making an app available to an international audience successfully is not easy. There are hurdles to overcome in every region. It can be expensive and never-ending rabbit hole. In this article, I'll guide you through the approach we've taken to localization at What3words and some important insights we've learned along the way. So, for those of you that don't know, and I really didn't get it by the name What3words, but I think I've heard about this solution before. I'm not sure if they're the only ones or if there are other companies and apps that do this thing, but basically what What3words does is that they are able to generate address name, which is composed of 3 words, and they do it basically based on GPS coordinates. I think when I looked at their website, I think it's like they basically slice the whole Earth to, I think it's 5x5 or it's probably 3x3 meters or feet, and so each I don't know, not parcel, but each part of this each part of our world that's 3x3 basically has like an address assigned to it that's made up of 3 words. So the combination, of course, is unique, but it could be something like apple.laptop.camera. So that could be an address that would only be unique to like a specific GPS coordinates on Earth. And when I heard about this solution before, it's really just stuck somewhere in my mind when I was reading this article. So if you are listening to this podcast, you probably live in a more developed country. So, we have the regular addresses, we have house numbers and stuff like that, we have postal codes. But for example, in places like Africa, where there are no roads, there are no street names and stuff like that, this system can actually help people know the location, like where they have to go or where they have to deliver something and stuff like that. Oh, I hate it when I say stuff like that. I do it so many times. Anyway, so that was about What3words, what they do. I think the idea is very brilliant behind the app, so let's look at how they approach localization. So what they learned, number 1, localize system. That's pretty evident. So most of the world speaks one of 10 main languages. It would have been easy for us to make 3-word addresses available in just those languages. However, to create a system that people want to use, it needs to feel natural and intuitive to them, which means it has to be available in their native tongues. So we set out to make What3words available in as many languages as possible. We currently have I'm so bad. We currently have 36 What3words languages, with 9 more scheduled for release by the end of this year. While we develop What3words for each of these different languages, we learned several important insights that may help teams embarking on a similar process. This brings us on to insight number 2, which is every language has its quirks. So the first quirk is problem with very long words. And remember, that's what the app basically does. Every part of the world is basically a combination of 3 different worlds. So German words can be very long, to the extent that some 3-word addresses would not fit in our address field. Because of this, we had to update the map to detect the length of a 3-word address, then adjust the font size accordingly. So for those of you that are just listening, there's a screenshot here which shows the app. And on the left side there's English, which has the address dominantly insert assumes. And on the right side it's German, which I cannot even read because like the font is really small, but there's like something like it's really long. That's the German words. So in order to fit the whole address in the field on phone, so that you don't have to, I don't know, like scroll something, they had to reduce the font. But the solution created another challenge. We came across 3-word addresses so long that the resulting tiny font size caused accessibility issues. Although these addresses are less likely to be used, we've assigned longer words to more remote locations. We're experimenting with solutions. So they still don't have like the optimal solution. Quirk number 2, spelling variations. Again, German. In many languages, you can have multiple spellings of the same word. For example, in German, you can spell schöne with an umlaut, you can spell it OE instead of the umlaut, or you can ignore the umlaut completely. All of these are completely valid, well-used spellings of the same word. Our system therefore needs to be able to detect that these are the same word and autocorrect it to one chosen spelling. Interesting. Right to left alignment matters. To make our app intuitive for right to left aligning languages like Arabic, we created a mirror version of the entire app interface. And again, there's a screenshot, and basically everything is mirrored there. Another quirk is good etiquette. So there would be little point making 3-word addresses available in 36 different languages if the rest of the What3words interface wasn't also translated. Luckily, we don't have that much copy within the app, so this isn't too difficult. However, even the small amount of copy uncovered some quirks. For example, in English, we say "Welcome back, Nikki." Pretty normal. However, in Korean, you simply would not address someone by their first name in this context. To address this, we updated the language strings used to form this message. So instead, the order of text translates as "Forecast Nikki, welcome back." This might seem a small detail, but if a Korean opened an app and read "Welcome back, Nikki," they would instantly know it was made by a company that doesn't understand their culture. So this was a little bit surprising to me, although I know that some of the Asian languages, and I was mainly thinking about Japanese, are like very sensitive about this, and you have to be like very polite. So I actually checked this with my Korean colleague today, and she said, yeah, it's true that you usually don't address people by the first name. And we were looking at this together, and the example that they said that how they actually translate it is "Forecast Nikki, welcome back." So I was at first confused by the word forecast, but I think in this case it basically means like the last name. So they are addressing their users with the last name and the first name. And welcome back. So attention to detail is everything. Okay, let's move to from Quirks. Those are all the quirks. Let's move to insight number 3, which is regional challenges. Every region that your product will be used will uncover new challenges. When faced with these challenges, it's important to weigh up the impact on the user base against the cost of a solution. Here's a few examples of challenges we've come across with our app and how we've addressed them. I'm running out of breath. Cost of data. The cost of mobile data in different regions can vary enormously, especially when compared against the local average living wage. This was a particular issue in South Africa, where we discovered users were reluctant to download our app due to its file size. As discussed earlier, our app... Am I recording? I am. Okay. As discussed earlier, our app is available in 36 different languages. However, we soon discovered that getting the user to download only the languages that they needed reduced the average file size of the app by half. This increased downloads by 60% when we A/B tested in Colombia, which also has comparatively expensive data charges. However, even at the small size, the 65 megabyte average size of our app still reduces the accessibility to What3words, which is why over the next few months we'll be optimizing and improving our map site to reduce the reliance on users downloading our app. Although a website version may not be able to provide as optimal an experience as a native app, it could increase access to core features. GPS accuracy. Was there anything here? Our app relies on the GPS of the user's device to help find their current location and 3-word address. However, the accuracy of the GPS can vary between devices, and is also affected by other factors such as proximity to tall buildings and atmospheric conditions. This is something we have absolutely no control over. However, we've discovered that providing an estimated 3-word address, as long as we notify the user that it's an estimate, suffices for most situations, especially in emergencies where time is precious. The user is notified of the accuracy of the GPS via the size of the blue circle, and they can choose to refine the 3-word address by using geographical landmarks on the satellite view to pinpoint their exact location if required. The best, this is insight number 4, the best localization is local integration. So this talks about that the team wants to make the best app and it should be accessible to the largest audience possible. And for that, they want to integrate with as many apps and services as possible. This is because when people use it within apps that they already use, the user experience is more seamless than having to download and learn to use a new app. That's very important. Therefore, it's important just what I said. Therefore, it's important to consider the user experience from a holistic level and consider how your product fits into the lives of your users. Although you may not have control over the design and implementation, local integration can improve your product's accessibility and get more people using your product. And the final insight is diversity is key. At What3words, I may be in the minority because I only speak one language. We have people from all over the world working in our London office. We also have offices in South Africa, Mongolia, and Saudi Arabia, filled with people that have a deep understanding of each region. Our network of 50 native language consultants per language are also very much a part of the community. This knowledge base is invaluable when it comes to understanding local cultural sensitivities, marketing trends, or crucially, whether or not the app actually works in a region. Many issues we've come across could not be recreated or diagnosed from an office in London. We need local knowledge. As we've seen, localizing an app can be an expensive process as well as a bit of a rabbit hole. Some challenges you'll be able to foresee, while others you'll only come across once people start using your app in their region. Rising to each of these challenges is an opportunity to improve your product and can make for an incredibly rewarding experience. It's amazing to be receiving positive feedback from people using the What3words app all around the world, and a significant step in our journey towards becoming global addressing standard.